So that was 50 Foot Woman here on Wired 99.9 FM, and I should have the guys with me um, online here now. Can you hear me?
Hey Dylan, how's it going?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Not so
Hi.
bad.
Yeah, so with me I have Hazel and Ben at the moment. So thanks very much, guys, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So I suppose just to kind of get started, can you introduce yourselves kind of individually and talk about kind of what your role is in the band?
Well, I'm Ben. I'm the guitar player, and I write about 50% of the songs.
And I'm Hazel. I'm the lead singer, and I think I wrote the lyrics to one song, but you know.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So I suppose then to be, I suppose, a bit more broad. Can you give me an introduction to the band itself? Kind of tell me about what it is, kind of what your genre is, who you're inspired by, that kind of thing.
Well, 50 Foot Woman started a little over a year ago now. It was the remnant of another band that me, Hazel, and Owen, our bass player, was in. And I suppose our sound is just kind of an old school punk sound. Anybody from Crass to the Misfits to Audible Joes to the Nils are bands who would inspire us, I guess, and who would influence our sound. So definitely, just an old school punk sound is what I would say. Some people would say, anarcho punk or skater punk, but I would just be a little bit broader and say old school. I think we're an older sound compared to like more modern bands, like I don't know, Title Fight.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, Hazel?
I don't think we take it too seriously when it comes to the sound of us. So like, we never set out like, oh, this is what we want to sound like.
Yeah.
We just sort of
Yeah,
we
definitely.
started making music, you know. So whatever comes out of it, it could change in a year or two, or it could, be exactly the same. We're not really predicting it at all, you know.
Okay, I see. Okay, so I suppose you've been in other bands and stuff before. So I suppose can you tell me about kind of both of your histories with music, kind of what got you interested in music? I suppose what your kind of backstory is, for lack of better words.
Well, for me, I just sort of fell into it. I never really I didn't really grow up surrounded by music at all. I would just, I'd listen to music every now and then. But I I met Owen and Ben through summer camps and things. Just kind of, my mom would send me into things and try and make me make friends. And then I ended up playing bass in our last band, and I'd never played bass before. I just wanted to be in the band. So, and then I ended up being the singer of that band just by saying, because our last singer left, I literally just put my hand up. I'd never really sang for a band before, and then, I mean, it fit, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think that there is sorry, Ben, we'll come to you in a second, but do you think, Hazel, that there is kind of a bit of a learning curve to kind of switching roles like that? You've played bass and you've sang. Do you think that it's kind of difficult to kind of, I suppose, switch roles like that?
A little bit, but like, it was singing was always my thing. Like, whenever I was just around the house and things, I would always be singing, you know? So it was more the opposite, where it was difficult to play bass. And
Okay.
then once I started singing in the band, it was like, oh, this comes naturally and I enjoy it more, you know?
Okay. Sorry, Ben, I think you were going to come in there.
Not at all. No. I suppose what was the question? My introduction to playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I suppose mine was actually kind of the opposite of Hazel's. There was always music in my house when I was 4 years old. I knew all the words to "Bank Robber" by the Clash. You know that it was always there. Music was always there, whether it was punk rock or whether it was reggae or African music or all these different types of music. So it was kind of a natural thing to pick up a a David Bowie record and get infatuated with it. And then I picked up guitar. I gravitated towards guitar because I wanted to be a songwriter and not really anything else. I didn't have any guitar heroes as such. And then as I went on, I got a little bit older. I got into punk rock, and it was Steve Jones and Johnny Ramone and all
Yeah.
these, the punk rock guitar heroes, Brian Baker. I could go on all day. Who made me, kind of gravitate further towards guitar. And so it was always there. It was kind of almost expected that I would become a musician. My dad is a drummer, so I think everybody was expecting it a little bit.
Okay, okay. I see Amy joining us here now. So, I suppose Amy, we were just talking about. I was just talking to the other guys here about kind of individually, kind of how they got started with music, how they kind of got interested in music. So, I suppose can you kind of introduce yourself first, and then maybe kind of explain, I suppose, what got you into music.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks so much for having us on.
My pleasure.
Yeah. For me personally, what got me into music has to be my older brother. He was like the only person in my family who was really into music. He's the drummer of another local band in Limerick. And I suppose like when I was younger, I would kind of just wander into his room and kind of just mess around with instruments. And he kind of saw that I had a talent with it. So he like taught me some things. And I kind of just like copied what he did and that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. So I suppose when it came to, I suppose when it come to founding 50-Foot Woman, obviously some of you guys have worked together before, but I suppose did it take much? I suppose did it take much time for all of you to kind of get acquainted with each other and kind of, I suppose, make plans, or since some of you worked together before, it was easy. I suppose was it easy or difficult? Is what I'm saying, to kind of come together as a group.
I think it was quite natural.
Oh yeah,
it was.
Sorry.
It's fine. Go ahead.
I think it was like really smooth because we never really like set out to, like, when we first played together, we were just in a room together and ended up playing. It wasn't like it just flowed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There was never really any issue trying to become a band. It just fit together.
I think that when Amy joined us and we started playing with Amy, it was that was a large part of it, because of how easy it was to play with Amy and how better we sounded with her. And from then on, there wasn't any kind of game plan or anything. We were just like, let's take every opportunity that we can get. Like, if anyone offers us anything, we'll take it without even thinking about it. That was it for I guess the first like 6 months at least.
Okay, yeah, and that's an
I definitely with that.
Sorry, go on there, whoever was speaking.
I was just saying I definitely agree with that. Like, I joined the band completely by chance, and it was literally just we were in the same room and we started playing. And just from then on, everything ran really smoothly and everything kind of just happened. I don't know.
Okay, thanks for that. I am actually, Ben brings up an interesting point there. Kind of taking opportunities as they come and that sort of thing. Is it difficult because obviously there is a lot of bands in Limerick. Is it difficult? Is it kind of maybe competitive isn't the word, but is it difficult to kind of put your name out there and kind of, I suppose, differentiate yourself in I suppose the Limerick scene?
I think we came along at a really good time because it was just after, like, our first show was just when it was again legal to play, to do fucking shows, like, everyone was looking for the next thing. Everyone was looking for live music, no matter what it was. So I think we came out at a really good time. And we were lucky in that sense, that it was, we were quickly picked up and people quickly kind of started hearing our name, I guess.
I think we were extremely lucky in how we fell into music. You know, we like you were saying, we came up just after COVID, and our first show, loads of people came simply because they wanted a show, and we put on a show. You know, Halloween night, it was very like thrown together. So loads of people were there, and loads of people were then putting on gigs and going, oh yeah, those guys, I remember them from ages ago. We got sort of like, you know, put under a couple of people's wings from that. And I
Okay.
think that's really helped us. But I can see how for like if you don't have that opportunity, it could be very difficult to get there. It's just about pushing it, I suppose.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add to that, Amy?
No, that's definitely true what Hazel was saying. It literally felt like from our first gig, the gig we put on at Lucky Lane, which we put on ourselves, right after that one, every other gig we had after that was just somebody else asking us to play. And it really did feel like some people were taking us under their wings and really helping us
Okay.
get out there, which we were just got so lucky there.
Right. Okay. And again, a very interesting point in that, kind of COVID was, I suppose, wrapping up, for lack of better words, and it was becoming legal basically again to do live shows and stuff. In terms of kind of the other aspects of kind of been in the band, kind of in recording the tracks and stuff. Did COVID restrictions or anything come into play around that, or I suppose were we kind of through the worst of it when the band was kind of getting started a few years ago?
We didn't really have to experience that so much, because when we first, like we were saying, our first gig was just after it, really. So there was a bit of time after that. I think it was like January, like around Christmas time after that, our first gig, where there was some, COVID had kind of come up again. But by the time we got around to recording, we were, it was already sort of done with. Not done with, because it's still kind of going, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of dying down.
I suppose have any other challenges come about over when you've kind of recorded your few singles so far? Has any kind of challenges come up, or anything kind of obstacles that you've had to kind of overcome to get your music out there?
I think the way we described our live shows are the same as we could with recording, as in we got really, really lucky. Our EP cost us less than €200 because we got really lucky and we bumped into the right people at the right time. So then when we were getting it out there, again, good timing and stuff. It was like, we accidentally put out a single at the right time, so people picked it up. We're just I guess we don't appreciate how lucky we can get sometimes.
Okay. Amy, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
No, they all said it there. It's so true. We're just so immensely grateful for everyone who's helped us along the way. Like, we really don't realize how lucky we are sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So, looking forward to the future, I suppose, do you have any, I suppose, are you able to kind of say right now, I suppose, what your plans are for the future? Would you like to release another EP, an album? Do you have more music planned? I suppose, generally speaking, what are you kind of hoping to do going forward?
Well, I suppose speaking of singles and EPs, we're recording this weekend. So hopefully that'll, become maybe something a bit more substantial. We'd like to work with Peter Jones from Folk Music again, and pretty much everybody who helped on the EP. We'd like to work with all these people again. We have a few shows coming up. We're playing with the Disorderlies and Kids on Fire. I think that's next month. Yeah, we've got some nice shows coming up. I'm pretty sure we're supporting Meryl Streak at the end of April. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, pretty packed schedule then. It seems. So yeah, I'm afraid we're almost out of time. But before we finish up, can you, if people want to kind of hear more and keep updated, where should they look, kind of online and that kind of stuff?
Well, we have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. Both are mostly upkept by Ben, Owen, and Amy. I'm not really very I don't interact with that too much. It's not my strong suit.
Okay.
But we have Spotify and Bandcamp as well if you want to listen to the music we have released already. I suppose that's kind of all we have as far as
Okay.
I'm aware.
And if you're walking the streets of Limerick on a Saturday, you'll probably also see us somewhere.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. All right, so perfect. This has been Hazel, Ben, and Amy from 50 Foot Woman. I would want to thank you guys again very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thanks so
so
much.
much.
My pleasure. Okay, guys. Take care.
Bye.
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 Thanks.